All right, guys, welcome back to another 500. I have finally gotten back into my regular browser here, and it's not crashing, although it is moving really slow and weird. This is going to be my last another 500. First of all, this is the last game that I'm casting that is not a subscriber game. And this is relevant, I think, because we've already talked about how three of my closest allies have sequentially dropped out of the game and screwed us over. Gascoigne, of course, over here on the islands, which I was taking time to take over these islands, and I can do it, but it's going to take a while. And then, of course, South Dutch Papua over here, who was with us from the very beginning. And then one of the later additions over here, of course, whatever the hell this is, Sanan Khan, and that sucked and whatnot. But honestly, that's okay. That's part of the game or whatever. Here's why I'm leaving the game. I'm done with it. So I did have this stack of about 1,500 infantry and about 10 cannon over here, and really they were just sort of not even a real defensive force, just sort of a ghost of a force that I was moving to the front, and they're gone. They're gone here because, as you can see, Aberdeenshire, the villain of this game, came in and took him out, which, that's fine. But here's what I want to point out to you is, how did they get here? They came through Hyperbad here, and I call him Hyperbad, but it's Hyderabad. They came through there. They've got right away, and they're moving right now through Hyderabad to further advance into our territory. And so that's one thing. So my brothers here on mainland Asia, Hyperbad, just sat there. And I put up a good fight, right? But I mean, honestly, that's a huge force, which, again, we could have countered. We honestly could have countered that force. I do kind of love this 17 balloons here, and I'll tell you why, because it gives him a really good air defense. So look at that. Attack damage air defense is 37, and that's because of these balloons. By the way, balloons do not, they continue to stack linearly, which means that you can keep on adding balloons, and they'll just make you more and more and more defensive. So I love that. This guy, Aberdeenshire, knows what he's doing. That's how you protect your land units against air, is with a shitload of balloons. Anywho, I want you to see what's going on here. Here are my allies with 703 infantry and 18 cannon. Over here, Hyperbad with 9 bombers. And I'm coming in with my sort of mixed fleet here. They're not great. But look at this. There's all kinds of my so-called allies here in the region who just stood back and let it happen. And we're going to lose now. I mean, that was my stack there, was the really sort of the front door. And now we're all going to die. Now, I don't know if Bombay and Hyperbad have some sort of agreement with Aberdeenshire, but I was all in to face the giant, even against sort of our alliance mates dropping out. I moved 2 big stacks over to face this. I was moving stuff over to deal with the island rebellion that was going on over close to Australia. But this is one that I just can't continue with. I don't know what to say. I was all in for us to stand side by side against this giant, right? Against this huge, everything in red over here. This is the guy we're against, right? And I was ready to go shoulder to shoulder with these guys in Asia to fight against that. And so when I see that my ally gives right of way, says, yeah, come on through to attack this guy, gives right of way to my enemy and lets him march through their territory into attack me without any warning, that takes the wind out of my sails. It's like, I don't know why we're here. I don't know what we're doing here anymore, really, because if we're not the little guys standing up together against the big guys, then why are we even here? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even fun, right? It's not even fun. So, while I thought that Bombay and Hyperbad, which is Hyderabad, but when I thought that we were all standing together against Aberdeenshire and that we would somehow pull together and shoulder to shoulder against this Goliath, I was all in. But now it's just, I've got other games. And so this is going to be the last of this Another 500 video series. And it's also the last that I'm going to cast of these big games where they're not subscribers. So we'll play some more big games, 500, 100, and 500 games. But my alliance mates are going to be subscribers. And I will tell you this, if you want to jump over to our subscriber game, there's two that I'm actively casting right now. And one is the subscriber game, and the next one is the new subscriber game. So the cool thing about the subscriber game is that we are also Australia. So it's, kind of almost exactly the same setup here. Is we're coming out of Australia down here, coming out of Oz, all the way down here. Here we go. We're coming out of Oz and we're coming up here. But here's what's different is we got to mainland Asia and there was a little bit of discussion about should we make allies when we land? And we decided, in large part informed by this very game, we decided no, scorched earth. We're just going to take all of Asia. We're not going to make any allies. We're not going to trust anybody. And by that time already, Bombay had kind of like grabbed some territories out from under me and then complained about other people doing that to him. And, a lot of just like, wow. When we came to Asia, we were like double the power of the spice enjoyers. And there were just two of them. They were Hyperbad and Bombay. And we kind of made a decision there to like, okay, let's work with them rather than just kill them. And so I'll say, like, I've learned now, like, no, that was a big tactical error on my behalf. That was a huge strategic error, not a tactical, strategic error on my behalf. I will say Bombay, we've had a little bit of friction, but he has behaved honorably as far as I know. But at the end of the day, we should have just killed him. Like, this little strip of green, this should all be green. All the way up into here should all be mine. And my Sydney has been a tried and true ally. Like, Sydney also, this should all be blue with Sydney's stuff. And, we could have taken in, like, I do like, over here, we did take in, Xinjiang or whatever, or, what was it? It was, did we take in? Yeah, we did take in, I feel like we took in somebody over here, but maybe not. No, this is all Bombay and Hyperbad. But, anyway, like, we can look into allowing people into our alliance as we go if it benefits us. But I'll say this was a bad decision on my part. It really was. It's just as simple as that. We came up into Asia and we were like, should we fight this war against the spice enjoyers? We're way more powerful than they are. And my thinking was, well, if we ally ourselves with them, if we become an alliance with them, then their strength becomes our strength. We work together. And what I've discovered is nobody will ever be as true and as honorably with you as the people who you came up with. And so to Sydney, I will say, here's Sydney right here. Man, I wish it was just you and I, really, this whole game. And I wish when we had gotten to Asia, we would have decided just to scorched earth, just like we did in the subscriber game. If you go over to that other playlist, you'll see we got to Asia and we're like, are we gonna reach out and make alliances? And we were like, no, we're not. We're just gonna take everything, and that's what we did. And we're kind of in the process of that right now. But here's what I'll tell you is that as we take Asia in that other game, there's not gonna be any question about somebody giving our most devastating enemy right of way to attack one of the other alliance mates. Like, that's not going to happen. So once I saw that Hyperbad allowed basically the big bad wolf to traverse his land to attack me without warning me, that's some Judas bullshit right there, man. Like, that's some betrayal, like low level play. And if you know anything about this channel, you know that, look, I'm all about bullshitting. I'm all about deception within warfare, right? But what I will not do is turn on my brother. What I will not do is pretend to be somebody's ally and then betray them. What I will not do is tell somebody I won't attack you and then I will. Like, dishonesty to me is the weapon of a weakling. Play the game, use your skills at the game, and, win or fail. Either way, you played your game. If you need to win this game by lying or by betraying, then you're not a player. You're not a player at all. I'm sorry. Like, if I seem pissed, it's because I am. And, I was already a little bit butthurt about, our 3 allies dropping out and causing big red swaths in our backcountry. But I was ready to face that because, people, you might have an emergency in your family and you have to drop out, or, things happen. And I'm okay with that. And I was ready to face that on all fronts. But now, like, it's just gross. Now this game is not fun. And, I play about a dozen games at a time. And I'm casting. I usually try to cast about 3, and this is one of the 3. And so I'm archiving this game. I'm done. So I will say to Hyderabad, which I like to call Hyperbad, but Hyderabad, you let him through your territory to attack me, and my stack was there to defend you as much as me. So I don't know what's going to happen. But whatever happens, it's not going to be good for you, I don't think, unless you've got some sort of secret agreement with Aberdeenshire, which I don't understand why that would be, because Aberdeenshire is so dominant of a player. I don't know why he would even need to make agreements with petty kingdoms like yours. But for whatever reason, you gave him right of way through your land and let him attack me through your land and didn't warn me or say anything to me. Like, that's just gross. I'm sorry. That's just gross. I don't know how else to put it. Like, wow. All right. So I'm done with this game. I probably won't archive it. I'll probably just, come back from time to time to look and see what's going on. Sydney, I will say this, man. I hope that you're on our Discord. I hope you're going to continue to play with us. So I'm specifically talking to General Peanut. General Peanut, you're golden, man. Like, you're everything I would want in an ally. You were true blue, and through the whole game, from day one, we had to take on certain challenges. It's been a couple months now, and so General Peanut, and by the way, Grease Boys, Otago, you too, man. Like, we've been playing this game from early on, and I'm sorry that I'm ducking out, but like I don't see the point anymore. Like if we're not playing a straightforward game here, well, and let's be honest, I'm making it sound like some sort of moral decision I'm making. Let's face it, dude, I lost my, what was it, 1,200, 1,400 infantry that were standing here. And I thought this was part of a larger effort to defend us, only to learn that no, these guys over here, you can see there's, heavy tanks, and there's, bombers, and there's big stacks. No, they're going to let the enemy through to kill my big stack. And then let's just see, let's continue. It's kind of, you can tell it's kind of slow motion here. Let's see where that enemy stack is going as it continues on in. And it looks like it's going, oh, yep, maybe he's going to attack Otago here. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I can say is, my concept of us being in an alliance together and standing together against this devastating enemy has been laid bare as a lie. So, all right, well, that's it, guys. This is the last of these that I'm going to cast, because I do want to go ahead and continue with these subscriber games. They've been a lot of fun. What I have learned, of course, is that subscribers continue to play. They don't drop out. So that's a big one right there. That one of those things that was kind of causing me grief early on, of course, was the fact that, people kept on dropping out of this goddamn game. So let me go ahead and attack over to here. I mean, why not? There's really nothing else to do. I thought we were going to be sort of building this defense with Hyperbad and Bombay and Sydney and I, sort of standing against this Goliath, this huge force, and really to learn that that's not the case, that we do have a Judas among us. Hyperbad, don't know what you're thinking, man, but good luck. Like, I don't know what Aberdeenshire is going to do to you after he wipes us out, this entire strip. Bombay, good luck. I don't know where you stand in all of this either. But I'm just going to leave my stacks where they are, and whoever comes along can fight the AI, because I'm done. Like, it's not fun when you have this kind of gross betrayal kind of gameplay going on. So, all right, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Please go ahead and check those subscriber stacks, because you will not see any kind of underhanded, sleazy play in those. So we're out of here. In the future, obviously, when we come to a new region, we will just scorched earth, take it over. We will not trust anybody who's in the region. And here's the thing too, is like, I sound butthurt because I am, but also don't forget the people in the region have been playing this game from the very beginning in this region. So they've developed relationships with the people around them. And so they're more likely to have, so I mentioned early on, I lost my entire Air Force, which hurt bad. Like my entire Air Force, which was, I want to say like 12 bombers and 15 fighters, like a huge, huge Air Force. And I lost it because this country I was attacking up here had right-of-way with Bombay. And so they just walked through Bombay and killed my entire Air Force, which, by the way, would have fended off this force, that stack of bombers, by the way, supplemented by another 3 or 4 that I've built since, would have been enough to fight off this stack. So again, and you'll recall, I wasn't even mad at Bombay about that, because Bombay had relationships with the people around them and had right-of-way with this country up here. And yeah, I went to war with this country, but I'm not necessarily angry that he had right of way with this, and they used their right of way to destroy my what I thought was safe, right? An airfield that is protected by Allied territory around me. Turned out, no, they're just going to walk over the Allied territory and destroy you. But I didn't make a big deal of it at the time because that's not really Bombay's fault, right? Bombay was already sort of had a right of way with the people around him because that's what you do to survive, right? And then I went to war with this guy without even mentioning it to Bombay, right? So there's really nothing that Bombay can do. Now, let's come fast forward to this. Hyperbad, bro, you know who our enemy is. You know Aberdeenshire is the evil, giant, like is the dragon. So you don't just give Aberdeenshire right of way because they're in the region. Aberdeenshire is not in the region, is conspicuously from Europe, from England, like not from Asia. So, Hyperbad, you gave Aberdeenshire right of way in a very specific way, in a very calculated and sleazy way. Like, I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. But I will say this: if we had just destroyed the spice enjoyers when we arrived in Asia, I would not have lost my Air Force. Why? Because anybody who I'm allies with would not have given right of way to somebody I was attacking. Again, I'm not mad at Bombay about that. Again, I've mentioned why. Like, he was already friends with, who was this up here? I think this is a remnant. West Changtang is who I attacked up here. So he already had right of way with West Changtang because of regional friendships, or not even friendships, but you just give AIs next to you right of way so they don't attack you, right? So I'm not mad about it, but at the same time, if that had been Sydney or Otago or one of my other allies from way back, it wouldn't have happened. If we'd have just destroyed whatever we found here and taken it all, I think we'd have been better off. And the idea was like, well, we don't want to lose all the armies that we would waste attacking or whatever. But no, like what I'm sort of starting to realize is, no, we would have taken over huge swaths of this territory, which then will go ahead and produce, right, spawn infantry for us in the hundreds. So, this has been an educational experience for me. I do apologize to Sydney, General Peanut, and Otago, of course, Grease Boys. You guys have been true allies the whole time. I'm sorry to be ducking out on you, but like I lost that, 30 plane Air Force, and I sucked it up. I'm like, let's go ahead and do it. That sucks that this country used Bombay as a right of way to kill my Air Force, but okay, I get it. Not so mad. Then 1, 2, 3 of our allies dropped out and then declared war on me because my popularity is so low because I've been attacking everyone this whole game. And even that I could take. But what I can't take is losing that, 1,200, 1,400 stack over here. I can't take it. And even worse, like I could even lose it and still stand firm if I'd have just lost it. But of course, the ultimate betrayal is that my ally was like, yeah, here, come this way. Just ushered our worst enemy through his territory to attack me. And then, of course, Bombay and Hyperbad stood by with large forces of their own and did nothing. So I think, it's pretty clear. The writing is on the wall. It's pretty clear. It's like, no, you can come into a region and you can make allies with whoever's there, but you can never really trust them. You really just can't. They've got their regional alliances. They've got, you ultimately, no matter how brotherly you are with them, you are always going to be a foreign invader to them. So they're always going to maybe feel justified in betraying you at some point or another because you're coming from elsewhere. So ultimately, I would just say, when you land on a new continent, at least for me, I'm not going to make local allies ever again. Like, I've learned my lesson. What I'm going to do from now on is scorch earth. So I would say if you're watching this and you've been watching for a while, jump on over to our subscriber game. Subscriber game is also a 500, and we're also coming from Australia. But the big difference, of course, is that we are not making allies when we land. We are burning everything down and taking every territory. So we decided early on we're not going to make allies with anybody who's around. And there was some conversation about that. Well, should we? There's this other alliance over here. Should we? And we kind of unanimously were like, no, we shouldn't. We'll never trust anyone as much as we trust each other. And we're not going to certainly give power to these local alliances where they have right-of-way with people we are potentially warring with, and then ultimately betray us in the 11th hour before we even, I was hoping, for those of you who've been watching this series, I was hoping we'd have that big showdown. If you want to go to my 500 Nation War, it's an early stack, and it's the one that has the white stripes on the sort of cover or whatever on the stack. Go check it out, because that's fun. You get to see like these 1,500 stacks of big companies of infantry and cannon moving around. And I thought maybe that's what we'd get to do, and then instead it's like, instead of dying with a boom, it dies with a whimper, like a little wussy little like betrayal whimper. So I'm sorry, I'm out. All right, that's it, guys. Those of you who've been watching this game, thank you for hanging in there. I am out of here, but I'm not going to archive it quite yet. I'm still going to watch and see what happens, because I'm just really curious. Like, what does Hyperbad think is going to happen? Like, once these giant nations roll in, like, is he gonna, like, I don't know, is he gonna shine their shoes? Like, is he gonna lick their boots? Like, I don't know. What do you think's gonna happen? Like, all right. Anyway, I'm out of here. This is the last of these videos, and this is cool though, because once I close this down, I'll be able to open up another subscriber game, because I'm trying to do like 3 casts at a time. I can't really keep up with more than that. So by closing this one down, I can open up a new subscriber game. So that'll be coming soon. Again, if you're not part of our Discord, please do bop over there, check it out. If you look at the playlists on my YouTube, there is a Discord video that I recorded, and you can go, you can use the link there and join us over there. Lots of subscribers are starting their own games. I'm actually in a couple of those games where I'm not the leader at all. I'm just sort of another soldier in the army, and that's fun too. So come check it out. We do have a community going here. This game will officially be the last non-community game that I'm casting. And what that means, of course, is that I started this game just fresh out of nowhere. And so General Peanut and Grease Boys, I just met them in the wild, so to speak. And I really do hope that you two guys are going to be a part of the ongoing community as we move forward. I'd love to play with you guys again. All right, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Super butthurt. My little bottom is absolutely smarting. Uh-oh. What's going on here? There we go. All right, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.